just a boy. Christmas brought so much joy. Couldn't wait for the presents and laughter. I couldn't sleep late at night, looking for Santa with lights. Those are the memories I still remember. Then I became a man, lost sight of who I am. But right in front of me was the answer. 'Cause on Christmas I feel joy, and I turn back to a boy. The answer is to stay young forever. This is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song. This is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song. This is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song. This is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song.
Hello, Star Wars fans. You know there's 239 days until Christmas 2024. Oh boy, what a week we have this week as Star Wars fans. You know, tonight we get the finale of a fantastic series. In my opinion, The Bad Batch has been one of the best Star Wars projects on Disney Plus since its inception. There's been a lot of good Star Wars on Disney Plus, but The Bad Batch is right up there towards the top of all of it. And tonight comes the finale, not only of the season, but of the entire series. Tonight is called The Cavalry Has Arrived. Well, we can say right now, the Cavalry is coming. Oh, it's coming. It's coming very soon. Tonight, just tonight, we get to see the Cavalry arriving at the end of the series. And as Will Morgan says, it is the best. It's the best Star Wars. No, I can't really argue. It is right up there for me. I've got to put Mandalorian season 1 up there, but it's certainly in the top 2 or 3 in my book. I would put Mandalorian season 1 and then maybe Bad Batch. Like, I'm not kidding. I've really enjoyed it. Rural Farm Boy, good to see you. And Eli Martin, hello. And there we've got the Sabersmith afternoon warrior hoodie to a fundraising event at the university. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. I've got lots of fans. Wow, that's amazing. I can't believe it. And, you know, if you follow the show closely, you know that I just came back from a trip to Memphis, Tennessee. We were down there for a Santa Claus convention. It was the International Santa Claus Convention in Memphis, Tennessee for 2024. And there were over 400 Santas and Mrs. Clauses there. And while I was there, I met one of you. One of our channel members, a supporter of the channel. We were able to sit down and visit for a bit. It was fantastic. You know, when I travel, I'm away from home and I get to meet folks. It's just wonderful to put a name with a face with a name and to get to know you all in person. And I've had the opportunity now to meet a handful of you, and every single time it's just wonderful. So there we go. Rural Farm Boy. Everyone wanted May 1st to get here. Well, here it is. Not only do we have May 1st coming, but we've got May 3rd coming. On May 3rd, we've got a big Hasbro announcement. We're expecting the HasLab. It's supposed to be a vintage collection HasLab coming up here on Friday. And of course, the re-release of the Phantom Menace in all of the Star Wars saga in certain theaters around the world. And of course, Saturday is the unofficial Star Wars Day. It's the day for fans, the Star Wars Day, May 4th. So we've got quite a fun week coming up, and it's great to be back here. Seth says the HasLab was delayed, by the way. Uh-oh. I got a bit of a cryptic message right before the stream started that there was a little something going on. I don't have the details of it, but if that's the case, now I've connected dots and I have an idea what's going on. So that's no good. That's no good. Hopefully, it's so that they can get their act together and we get a really well thought out and executed HasLab project. So hopefully that's the case. By the way, my friends, last week while I was gone, there was a there was an episode of the Bad Batch that we were not able to do a watch party with, but I have since gone back and rewatched the episode and have graded your predictions, put them together, and counted them up. You can see the Wall of Fame for episode 14. We had quite a few people get the 5-point bonus question correct. And now we have 3 people on the Wall of Fame or on the season leaderboard. The season leaderboard is for those folks who have been playing the predictions game all season. These folks right here, Skywalker's Academy, Baymax, and Brett Phillips. Santa has 119 points. So you can see Baymax 1 point ahead, Brett Phillips just a half a point ahead, but Skywalker's Academy way out there in front with 125. Unless Dale falls asleep and forgets to do his predictions, then Dale is pretty much locked up. Let me see something here real quick. See if Dale already has his. Dale may already have his responses in. Let me see. Let me see here. No, he does not have his in yet. So if Dale falls asleep and doesn't do his predictions, that's the only way Santa's going to catch up. Otherwise, Skywalker's Academy is going to win himself some Star Wars Santa merch. And like my shirt today, you can get yourself a Star Wars Santa t-shirt. You can get a hoodie or a cap. There's a number of things. I will be contacting our season winners to see what they would like to order. And I'll purchase the Star Wars Santa merch and I'll have it shipped to you. Wherever you live, we'll have that sent and you win some Star Wars Santa merch on me. You don't have to be a channel member. You don't have to be a subscriber. All you have to do is play the game. So there you go. Good to see you all. Yeah. Very good. Yeah. Nerd Mafia. This guy here, he quit playing. He's like, I can't win. It's Nerd Mafia. If I can't win, I'm not playing. That's how he is. He's like, nope. As soon as he fell behind, he's like, forget it. I'm out. I'm out. Hello. Thank you, Kanshu. Oh my goodness. The financial support you have given this channel in the last few months has been amazing. Absolutely amazing. Just a quick thanks for what you do. God bless you, my friend. Thank you for that support. It means the world to me. It's absolutely wonderful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And KG is here. K's been playing the game. Will Morgan says Dale's going to sleep quicker than Omega. We've got the finale to talk about. And then there are so many questions coming out of this series, right? This entire series is coming to a wrap. And, Fitz, I saw you. I see you. I see you. Just as Rural Farm Boy has seen you, being naughty in the chat. Sabersmith says, did you see the Lego short celebrating 25 years? I have not seen it. I will have to catch it this afternoon when I get a chance. When I get a chance this afternoon, I'll look for that short. The Lego stuff is some of my favorite from a comedic content perspective. Nothing better. There's nothing better out there. And yeah, this is a concern, right? We've all seen the rumored the runtime for tonight. Tonight's episode, the rumored runtime is a regular episode, 24 minutes. That's super sad. We know that we've been hoping for a double length episode here at the finale. There's so much to wrap up. There's so much going on. And an episode wrapping up this fantastic series, the entire series coming to a wrap tonight. We were hoping for something significant that would set us into perhaps what the next series will be. What do you all think? What do you think we're going to get coming out of this series? And what is it tonight that concludes the Bad Batch? If you think about the Bad Batch, what is it about? And I know there are some folks who kind of checked out on the Bad Batch because they're like, it's not about what they wanted it to be about. And they really don't have any investment in the characters making up the Bad Batch. And in my view, the Bad Batch is about the Bad Batch. It's not about the Empire as a whole. Certainly set within the framework of the newly established Empire following Order 66. The brutalness of that Empire, Palpatine's rule, and those folks coming in. That's certainly the context of the show, but that's not what the show is about. And in my view, the show is about the Bad Batch. You know, Hunter, Wrecker, Omega, Crosshair, and now Echo, and RIP Tech. You know, we've got this series has been about that family, right? It's been about that family, the Bad Batch. And what is it that makes this series come to an end tonight? What makes it come to an end this week? Rural Farm Boy says, check your expectations, right? It'll be as long as the story needs it to be. Well, maybe it won't be as long as the story needs it to be, but it'll be as long as the story has to be, right? I think for those of us who have been enjoying it, we would certainly appreciate more Bad Batch than less. But yeah, that's the case. The Sabersmith says it's a smaller story, sort of like Rebels was. And for me, it's been top tier. I'm with you. It's not about the Empire as a whole. And if this series comes to an end, or it is, as this series comes to an end, who's going to survive? As Nerd Mafia poked tonight, there's going to be death. And I think you're right. We know for sure that there's going to be death. And one of the predictions questions says someone's going to die. Yeah, somebody's going to die. The question is it going to be any of our main characters? Are we going to lose some of these main characters that we've fallen in love with? What's going to happen, right? What's going to happen tonight? And who's going to survive? Man, it's a rough question. It's a difficult question to ask. And tonight we'll get some answers. I saw some tweet from D. Bradley Baker, who I've got to meet in person. I went to the Indiana Comic Con last year and met D. Bradley Baker in person. Got a picture with him, along with a couple of my good friends, Yachty and Dawn Basham. We got a picture together with him. But he tweeted something like, it's going to be emotional. It's going to be emotional. And he challenges anybody who's invested in the show not to shed a tear. It's going to be tough. Well, if that's the case, boy, oh boy, I just need to be braced for it, right? I need to be braced. And what I'm worried about to some degree is spoilers, because normally I can't do my watch party until around lunchtime. And by then, the internet's already kind of given me the answers. So it's going to be super tough to do the watch party with you all tomorrow, having had no spoilers. And yeah, what about Batcher? Is Batcher going to live? Oh, he's got to live. Batcher lives. Fitz says Hunter is Omega's father figure. Don't think Wrecker could fit that role. I think we'll learn the real Bad Batch are the friends we made along the way. Oh, I think so. When we talk about the Cavalry is coming, we'll talk just a little bit about who is the Cavalry. We've already established some of them, but the Cavalry has arrived. It's coming, as we say right now. Tonight, the Cavalry will arrive. But if that Cavalry isn't going to be made up of Rex, what about Wolf? Is this when Wolf flips the switch? He becomes part of the Cavalry instead of part of the Empire, part of the rebellion. We know by the time we get to Rebels, he's turned the corner. Is this when we get to see Wolf switch allegiances in totality? Will Crosshair survive? Will Crosshair live? He's had a pretty decent redemption story to this point. There's yet to get his accuracy back in his shooting. And I've been thinking for a long time there's going to be this full redemption is Crosshair getting the shot. Crosshair's going to get the shot, and that's going to be his exit story. Will that be the case tonight? Will Crosshair hit the shot as he gives his life for his family? Oh boy, that could be a tough one. That could be really tough. Kanshu, another 1399, he says, I think we get a scene where Omega won't leave in an injured Hunter. He tells her, good soldiers follow orders. They have a moment as she says goodbye. Kanshu, you might be right. I hate it. I hate it so much, only because it tears my heart in half. We might see that with Crosshair, to be honest. In the last time I nearly shed a tear was when Omega was standing there on Camino, and Crosshair had made the decision to leave them. And she told him, you're my brother. And it wrecked me. It wrecked me. And I could absolutely see that happening again in a very similar scene where Omega has the moment with Crosshair as he hits that final shot to save her life. And she cradles his head as he's dying. And they have that last moment. And maybe she says, you're my sister. Oh, makes me want to tear up just thinking about it. Oof, that's tough. That's tough. Wow. Oh, we'll find out. Yeah, for the record, Omega is older than the rest of the batch. That's true. That's true. Unless she dies. Yeah, if Omega dies, I riot. I think you won't be alone. You won't be alone, Fitz. I think the internet as a whole will explode if she dies. Saber Smith says, "I'm not ready for the emotional damage." You've seen the meme. Emotional damage. we may get some of that tonight. Oof, it may get happen tonight. Nerd Mafia, don't forget your pitchforks. Yeah, I think we'll need a box of handkerchiefs next to us. You're not kidding. Tonight's the last time with George Lucas's characters. Well, unless you believe that rumor. If you believe that rumor that George is coming back to work on Star Wars, maybe we get more George Lucas. It's funny because I'm catching up. And of course, I think it's mainly nonsense. And that George Lucas has been involved in live action Star Wars since Disney Plus released Mandalorian season 1. We have pictures. We have video of him on set. We've got in some of the gallery episodes, you can see him right there on set. So he's been involved in live action Star Wars. So will he be involved in a future live action Star Wars? And will some of his story or some of his input be involved in another Star Wars project? I think so, just from that perspective. But will it be different than it's been to this date? I doubt it. I doubt it. But how cool would it be? Can I be naughty just for a minute? Just for a minute, just to have fun. How cool would it be if George Lucas is director of the Ray movie? just saying. Oh my goodness! There you go. That's me having my fun. That's me having my fun. So you guys, let's get into the predictions here for the finale, and we'll talk about some things here as we go along. We'll get your chat as well, and take a look at. Here we go. Let's bring up the predictions. Now let's make me a little bit bigger. Put it right here in front. And here you can see we've got 8 responses in so far. Seth, Daniel Fisher, Ethan, Fitz has already got his vote in. Mike Yaney, Brian Stone, and Stephen Murphy. Those are folks here. Someone will mention following orders. You know, in the last episode, as they were making their way across Tantus, we did get a mention of that as they were. There was the discussion between Rampart and Crosshair saying there was a day when you followed orders. I was like, there you go. Check the box. There you go. I said directing, Will Morgan. I said George Lucas directing the Ray movie. Just for the record, that's what I said. And there's Baymax. Good to see you, Baymax. Made it onto the he's on the season leaderboard now by 1 point. You got to get your predictions right tonight, because if I beat you by a point, we'll be tied. 2 points and you lose your merch. You've made it. You've made it, my friend. Someone mentioned following orders. This is a tough question because we have the finale. We know something's going down at Mount Tantus. We know there are other clones in Mount Tantus other than the ones we've primarily been watching, right? We know that we've got all the batch. We've got, Baymax. I saw that right at the top of the show. They're delaying the HasLab. I said, hopefully it's because they're just tying some loose ends together, and they want a flawless release. They don't want to mess it up. They don't want a half-baked release. They want to get it right. So let's hope that that's the case. It says, in the same sentence, they announced fresh new reveals for the Black Series. Well, we'll see. Yeah, the TVC community has their pitchforks out. We're kind of off topic, but I'll tell you, the TVC community is as kind of split as the Star Wars community is as whole. The vintage collection folks, we have a big kind of rift in there between the people who want nothing but the original trilogy characters released and re-released and re-released again. Different cards, different paints, different whatever. These people just want the same original trilogy stuff. That's all they want. And they want some of the characters, some of the background characters, some of the things that you've seen in, and I'll just go to the Cantina scene, for example. Rumor has had it that the HasLab project's going to be the Cantina from A New Hope. And there's a lot of background characters in there we've never really interacted with. We've never really seen much. It reminds me of our good friend Martin, who Constable Zuvio from The Force Awakens. He's barely on the screen, yet he had this big buildup, and then it kind of fell flat. And there's a great story behind Constable Zuvio. But beyond that, we have vintage collector folks who want all of those kind of characters. They're on the screen for a half a second. I want a character. They want a figure released on card, and they want to collect it, and they're only after every single image that you've seen in every in every frame of the original trilogy. That's all they want, and they kind of get worked up when Hasbro releases stuff from the sequel trilogy or stuff from prequel trilogy even, or stuff from Mandalorian. They're sick and tired of getting more Din Djarins. Look, me too. I've got too many Din Djarins as it is. I don't need more. But they're like, Hasbro needs to quit focusing on these new characters and get back to doing the original. It's like, you guys need to calm down. You need to calm down because we need more collector. But that's the folks at Hasbro are a little pressed to hit that happy balance for those original trilogy collectors that have been invested in that vintage scale since the beginning, who are the buyers. They're the primary audience. You can't forget your primary audience when you're trying to build audience. And Baymax and I have had these discussions. You can't forget your primary audience as you're trying to build audience. So make sure you're taking care of your base, and then feel free to go ahead and expand. But there you go. There you go. Let's get back. Santa needs more rays. Yes, I do. It says TVC doesn't release sequel trilogy stuff since 2019, which was probably smart. Mandoverse, Clone Wars, PT are still sells. Right. Yeah. Said we need more than just OT. It took me forever to find an Imbo. How about that? Imbo, he's one of some people's very favorite bounty hunter. Said I had to buy it third party and it was expensive. That tends to be the case. So I want to jump back into the predictions. And tonight, will there be any mention of following orders? There are other clones being held there just beyond the main characters. And if they talk about that, or even Emery, right? Like Emery had a little discussion with Echo, and she mentioned trying to help him break Omega free. Will there be any mention of following orders? That's tough, right? How do you answer this question? Yes or no? We're split 50-50 right now. Someone will be killed 100%. Absolutely 100%. The question is it going to be a main character? Are we going to see Emery? I'll count her as a main character. Nala Se. Don't forget, we've got the other dude, Kamino and Lama Su, right? We've got Lama Su hanging around there somewhere. Will it be any of the batch, right? Will we see Echo? There's been a lot of discussion about Echo maybe dying because he's not in Rebels. Did he die here? What about the rest of the batch? Wrecker and Hunter, Crosshair, and God forbid, what about Omega? My goodness, I don't know what to think. I don't know what to think. I think the thought that Echo might die tonight is probably the strongest argument, and I would expect to see maybe the rest of the batch survive. Maybe. We'll see. But then again, why does the series end if the batch survive? I don't know. I really don't know. So let's see. A droids referred to by name, 50-50. I'm thinking more likely no. Like there's not a droid in the picture right now. Right? The only one I could imagine being called by name would be AZ. AZ isn't on Wayland as it is. He's not at Tantus as it is. So I wouldn't expect to see that. Let's see what else. I can't see tomorrow's episode being 24 minutes. I think it's longer. I can't see them wrapping everything up in that amount of time. I agree with you, Fitz. I agree. 24 minutes just doesn't seem like enough. I think Omega, Brandon, hello, will be the only one to survive. Perhaps so. Although there's discussion about a post-credit scene similar to Rebels and the Clone Wars season 7 that would involve a little reunion of sorts, which mean Omega may not be the only one who survives. We'll see. We'll see. A droid referred to by name? I'm thinking probably not. Probably not. A ship will fire upon another ship. Well, as the cavalry arrives, I would expect that happens. Yes, I would think so. I fall with the yeses here. We'll see Wayland, Mount Tantus. Easy one. This is a gimme. You get your point. 100%. Yes, we will be visiting Wayland, Mount Tantus. That's where we're going to be. That's going to be it. A bounty hunter shows up in this episode. A lot of people saying no. The only bounty hunter, I don't know. It's possible in the epilogue scene. It's possible at the end as part of the cavalry arriving that we could see some of those friends we made along the way, right? Might we see Fennec Shand? I think it's very possible. Might we see anybody else? Very possible. What about our favorite Night Sister? Yeah, very possible. But will we? Right? Most people are saying no. It all depends, doesn't it? Wow. It all depends. Tough answer here. And I don't know. I'm going to need some more time before I come up with an answer. I want to say yes, but I'm afraid it's no. I just, I don't know. Oh my goodness, I don't know. A named character from another show appears, and in the question itself, well, I've got this defined. So question 7, if we go down and you look at the actual question, characters that count would be Vader, Barisafi, Quinlan Voss, or Grogu. So Quinlan Voss is a very good answer because I just re-listened to Dark Disciple, and we've already seen Asajj Ventress come back. It's very possible that Asajj and Quinlan could show up together. And if Quinlan shows up, you get a point. If it's anybody that we've seen, Cad Bane, Fennec, Asajj, Palpatine, Tarkin, any of those folks, no point. So it's possible we could get Vader. It's possible we could get Quinlan. But I think most likely the answer to that is no. So question 7, I lean into no. Someone will use the Force in an observable manner. I think so. I think those kids, remember, Omega's already recruiting them to help her escape. She's got this plan that involves the Zillo Beast and going to presumably release the Zillo Beast, right? Release the Zillo. That's going to happen. It's very possible she could get one of them to like force push a switch to turn something off, to let him out. Anything like that could happen. So I'm leaning into yes. And my friend Star Wars Meg put a video out yesterday saying we could get something akin to the end of the Book of Boba Fett, where we had little Grogu having a little mind meld there, right? With the beast at the end. We could end up with a similar scene with Omega doing a mind meld with a beast at the end, right? We've already seen her see that happen with Ventress, right? Asajj already did that kind of thing. So we very well, and I think Meg has me for the very first time thinking we might actually see Omega use the Force, right? I could see it. Sabersmith says, Baby Baron will, not Omega. I'm with you. That's good. I like that, Sabersmith. I like it a lot. Omega will ride the Zillow Beast, and Baby Baron will speak. You might be onto something there. That's part of using those kids that are coming along with them, is to get them to use the Force. She's going to bring them along. They'll use the Force. They'll speak to the Zillow Beast. They'll push the switch, and she's just going to lead them. Right? Become a bit of a leader. Sure, it's for little kids, but at that same time, it's not her using the Force, it's them using the Force. I like that better. Oh my goodness, I like that a lot better. A flashback scene? No, we've not had one. I don't think we will. I really don't. Even if we get a bit of an epilogue scene at the end, I don't see a flashback as being in the scope of the show. Absolutely not. So I say no to that. And question 10, a species of droid speaks in another language with subtitles to translate. If that's going to happen at all, then it would be in the mass exodus, one way out kind of scenario. And I don't think that's going to happen either. So I say no. RF Gaming says, if I copy your answers, I better get an A on this test. Well, the one thing is, if you have the same answers I do, you're guaranteed to make the Wall of Fame, because if you tie or beat Santa, then you make the Wall of Fame. So that's how that can happen. And then with the bonus questions, this is where you got a chance for winning more than just 1 point. You could get yourself up to 5 points for this bonus question. So this is how we have people on the Wall of Fame here. Sly Doc, for example, with 15 points. He got 10 correct and 5 bonus points. Fitz only missed one question. So, Fitz got 15 as well. Baymax and Skywalker's Academy both got 14s. And that's how they did that. So the bonus question, you can get up to 5 points. I put Zillow Beast, right? So I'm just going for the easy 1-pointer. That's 1-pointer. Zillow Beast indirectly or directly kills almost everyone. That's a very good answer. I think that's after the last episode, then that's an easy 1-pointer. And it depends how generous I feel and exactly what happens. I may give more than 1 point, but that to me right now, as I look at it, looks like a 1-pointer. It's a natural progression of the story as it's been revealed, right? This isn't some wild speculative guess, right? So it's a 1-pointer. Everyone except Omega dies. Sniff, sniff. Everyone, presumably meaning the rest of the batch. And I won't include Emery in that. I'll include only Hunter, Echo, and I'll even exclude Echo. I'll say if that includes Hunter, Wrecker, and Crosshair, if the 3 of them die and only Omega survives, I'll give the points, and I'll make that because it's such a stretch. I'll give it 5 points. That's a 5-pointer right there. I think we see Zillow Beast escape and destroy Tantus. That's a natural progression of the story. That's 1 point. Absolutely. The Zillow Beast will run amok. The Zillow Beast running amok on Tantus. Yes. Omega ends up with Ventress. There you go. How's it going to go? Is Omega going with Ventress? Is she leaving with Emery? Is she going with my favorite theory all along has been she's going to leave with Fennec Shand. But again, that's just me. I think I'm alone in that. I don't think anybody else is with me there. But I think the most likely right now is Emery, that Omega will leave with Emery. The time jump at the end, we'll see something going on. It says, we'll time jump at the end and she'll be training with Rey. How cool would that be? No, Fitz, if that were to happen, I will gift you 5 more points. I'll give you 5 plus 5. Well, if the epilogue is Omega in a training, like a training school with Rey after Rise of Skywalker. I don't think it's going to happen. I would love it, but I don't think it's going to happen. Let's see. Omega frees the Zillo Beast in her escape. Yeah, that's the story is telling us that part, right? Let me move myself over because I think I might be in the way a little bit. If that's the case, that's a natural part of the story. We already see that she's already planning that, so we think that's it. And then the last, Omega escapes Tantus. Well, that's a 1-pointer as far as I'm concerned. That kind of naturally falls from the story. So we'll see. Will Morgan, if Omega goes with Emery, that counts as going to sleep. Does not. No. Going to sleep means going to sleep, Will Morgan. Nice try, my friend. No. If Emery leaves with if Omega leaves with Emery conscious, that's not going to sleep. That's just going with her sister. If she leaves in a carbonite block or she leaves in a amber, entombment, then yes, that counts. Something of that nature, yeah. I'll tell you what, Will Morgan, I'll throw you a bone. If she leaves with Emery and we see her in a co-pilot seat or in the back taking a nap, I'll give you the credit. She's taking a nap. She's got a little snuggie there, and she's sleeping through the trauma that she just experienced. Then I'll give you a credit. Will Morgan totally does. Omega has to go bye-bye for a minute. Going to sleep is just an explanation for her not being around. Oh, Will, I sense backpedaling. I love Will. He's fantastic. You guys, many of you have reached out to me personally. You check on my well-being from time to time. And this guy here is one of the best. Will has been around for a long time and reaches out. So I'm hazing him a bit. He's hazing me a bit, but we're having fun. Sabersmith. Oh, Sabersmith, you might be onto something. See, Exegol for our future. Very well. Very good guess. Very good guess. If the Zillo destroys the project taking place on Tantus, which I suspect is exactly what's going to happen, then we see the Emperor regather in Exegol to continue the experiments there. Yes, Exegol for sure. Will says full-blown backpedal. Exegol in the epilogue. I'll tell you what, if anybody's got the gall to put it in the predictions, that's a 5-pointer. You see Exegol in the epilogue, that's 5 points all day long. If we get it, that's also a 0 if it doesn't. So be careful. Be careful. 1 point might be better than none. But 5 points, if you're going for it, that'd be a good guess to see if you could get a few extra bonus points. So there you go. RF Gaming. Omega is put in carbonite. Wakes up on Exegol after Tross. The next trilogy's arc is villain revealed. Arch villain. The next new trilogy's arch villain is revealed. It's Omega. She's the arch villain in Rey's story. Oh no, she's a hero. She's a good guy. Brandon, I would love to see the Empire taking the Zillo Beast to Exegol. They may not be able to. I think Meg or somebody put in their prediction that the Zillow Beast is going to break free, and it will be large and in charge on Tantus, on Wayland, at the end of the show. Right, Zillow Beast is going to wreak havoc, and Wayland is the new home for the Zillow Beast, where it will live out its days as the top of the food chain. right, top of the food chain. The Zillow Beast now rules Wayland. Very well could be the case. Wow, it's a lot of fun. We have fun with the speculation. We have fun with these theories, and the big questions coming out of this. We know there's some reveals coming. We're expecting an announcement either. So here, let me throw this out to you guys as well. What do you think the chances are that after the finale, we get a post-credit scene or we get some sort of trailer showing what the next series is going to be? Do you think we will? Do you think it's possible? Or do you think probably not? We're going to have to wait a little while to find out what that next animated project's going to be. I hope we do. And I'm still pulling for a post Return of the Jedi series with Luke Skywalker. I would absolutely love that. What if, just for fun, you guys were having a lot of fun mentioning, what if we see the epilogue scene jump forward and Omega is part of Rey's academy? What if we jump forward and Omega is part of the post Rise Return of the Jedi academy with Luke Skywalker, maybe training as a bit of a mentor or Jedi with a young Ben Solo. Oh, that could be interesting. I would love to see something with Return of the Jedi. Brandon, I love when we do speculations. I try to be responsible with mine. I don't try to get too far out. Let's see what else. One of my students just said, we've already seen Baby Baron use the Force in that episode with Cad Bane. That's 100% true. So it makes sense that Baron could tame the Zillow. I love it. And I absolutely love it. We know that Baron can toss things around. We don't necessarily know the powers of the other kids that are Force sensitive. It's very possible one of the other kids could be like a animal whisperer, right? So I think one of the other kids could very well play that role. Will says Omega's going to be a Jurassic mosquito, putting Amber from Obi-Wan series. Mando and Grogu free her with Boba Fett in the 2026 movie. There you go, Will. Double down on your Omega sleeps, all right? Double down on that. Brandon, I think the epilogue will be that we'll see Omega and the other kids are older and the kids become Jedi. Wow, there's so many possibilities, right? And that's what's fun about speculating right now. Anything is possible. All these things, maybe none of them. For sure, it could be a very emotional finale. I'm expecting an emotional finale, and I'm going to try my best to stay away from the spoilers. And if you would like to play the predictions game, maybe see if you can get on the last wall of fame for the series. You could do that. There's a link in the description here. I've posted the link in all the other things. So you'll find the Bad Batch episode 15 predictions game link on Twitter X. You'll find it on Patreon. You'll find it in the YouTube community tab. You'll find it on Discord. Find it on Facebook even. I've put it everywhere I can think to put it. And I've got it in the description here. If you would just like to put your predictions in, play the game. Baymax says, if Will is correct, he wins the internet. I give you that. I give you that, Baymax. And I'll tell you what, Will. I know you haven't played the predictions game. But if you get that right, if Omega is truly asleep, one of the two conditions, she's in carbonite or she's preserved in amber as the Jurassic Park mosquito, I'll send you some Star Wars Santa merch anyway, even though you haven't done the game. You're not in the running for the season leaderboard. If you get that right, Star Wars Santa merch for you, my friend. That's I just Saberspin. I don't want it to end. I don't either. I want it to keep going. I want to keep going. So play along. It's fun. We have a good time with the predictions. I look forward to watching this episode tomorrow, breaking it down, going through it. There's also other Star Wars news on the cusp. If possible, then Thursday, I would like to do a RF Gaming says, I don't see the predictions in the YouTube community tab. All right, I'll check it right after RF Gaming. I'll make sure it's there. After that, then Thursday, I would love to do a community stream where we talk about the Bad Batch series. We talk about whatever the epilogue is, if there is one, and we talk about what's next. What is going on? What's happening? I don't know, but we'll try to have a community stream. And if you want to be part of that community stream, all you have to do is join us on Patreon. Become a patron for as little as $1 a month. I try to do as much as possible to make that dollar stretch to every penny that I can. You can join the live stream Thursday and talk about it, or join here on YouTube as a YouTube member, and we'll send out an invite to all of our patrons and YouTube members. You can join the discussion Thursday to talk about how this episode went. And then Friday, the news of the week on December. Where am I? On May 3rd. May 3rd, we'll talk about all the Star Wars news of the week, all of the stuff that's being revealed this Friday, and what's coming up on Star Wars Day Saturday. We'll talk about there's a new season of Tales of the Empire. Tales of the Empire releasing Saturday. So you've got a good chance to take in some more Star Wars content over the weekend. And then there's so much more to discuss, right? There's so much more to discuss this Friday. There's news dropping today. I saw about a game release coming up in June. There'll be a lot to talk about. So we'll do that on Thursday. Seth says there's a new trailer out. Oh boy. Well, let's see if we can find it real quick. It says $20 super chat, $19.99 Mumbo Jimbo. Wow. Thank you so much. The support is amazing. It says, hey, Santa, I'm showing up late, but I'm interested in your thoughts about what the next animated show will be. The Path with Omega and the clones remaining, Jedi High Republic, or post Return of the Jedi Luke, Han, Leia. I'll tell you what I want it to be, Mumbo Jimbo. I want it to be post Return of the Jedi. That's what I want most. I want that desperately. I think it's what the Star Wars community as a whole, the fandom, needs to see Prime Luke, Han, Leia, and Chewie. That's what we need as a community. That's what I want the next animated series to be. It very well could be something following the clone uprising. We could see something going on in that space. Or I think the least probable is something with the Path. I think Omega's story is most likely to continue in Tales of and the pieces. And the next time we will see Omega will be in live action in the Mandoverse era. And then there'll be a big gap where we've got pieces to fill out, much like Fennec Shand. We don't have all her story. I desperately want the next animated series to be post Return of the Jedi with Prime Luke, Han, Leia, and Chewie. That's what I want most. But I don't have any firm leads. I can't tell you for sure. Oh my goodness. There's a new for Tales of the Empire. Yes, I saw the new trailer for Tales of the Empire. It came out yesterday, I believe. So we'll catch that later. Star Wars Hunters. Yeah, I'll save review of these things for later in the week. We'll talk about Tales of the Empire. We're going to talk about some of these other possibilities, right? Omega is both the proto and the Omega, the first and the last. Will Morgan. We don't know. You know what's in here, don't you? Mio Energy. You guys, thanks for hanging out with me. Well, I cannot wait. This is going to be a fun week. It's going to be quite the ride, starting tomorrow, starting tonight, and all through the end of the week. What a great week to be a Star Wars fan. In my opinion, this is just a golden era for Star Wars fans. Sure, there's a lot of controversy and division in the fandom, but for those of us who are really engaged in the content, those of us who are enjoying this Disney Lucasfilm era, this is a golden era for us. Maybe not for everyone, but I am up for it. I'm enjoying every bit of it. And look, I would love for my friends who are not enjoying it to get something that engages them, gets them on the hook and brings them in. And that's where I go back to thinking a post Return of the Jedi series would be great. Fitz says, gonna work from home tomorrow. Don't want to see any spoilers. Yeah, let's go. We've got a Mike Porter dad joke. I saw Mike Porter in the chat. Wait, Mike Porter said something just a little bit back. I want to go catch Mike Porter's comment, and then we'll do the Mike Porter dad joke. Let me scroll back up. He goes, the epilogue, Omega saves the kids, and they go off in a ship. And close credits. Show over. Nothing is said what happens to the Bad Batch. Oh, Mike Porter. Not popular. No. No. You could be right, but not popular. My goodness. The Mike Porter dad joke. Let's go there. We've got what was the Vice Admiral reluctant to do? What would the Vice Admiral be reluctant to do? Well, to be rampart of the Bad Batch escape plan. Oh, my goodness, Mike Porter. What do you guys think? Rampart survive? I think he's goner. All right. We'll see how things go. And I appreciate you guys being here. I love all of you. Thank you so much for your support of this channel, what we do here. And until next time, my friends, Merry Christmas, and may the Force be with you always. Bye-bye.